A girl was dancing for her phone and she seemed to be very happy with the work she was doing. At that moment, a woman arrives with her daughter and the girl is startled by it. She then asks the woman if she was okay, but the woman says she didn't seem to be doing very well. She said that the cell phone the girl was using to make that video was really bad. The woman's daughter says that the cell phone the girl was using was too old and that she should feel ashamed to use a cell phone like that, but the girl says that she was not understanding what they were saying. The woman then tells her daughter not to be around that girl as she was too poor, and then her daughter says that her mother had bought her a very expensive cell phone. The girl says that she didn't understand why they were saying that to her, because her cell phone was like all the others, but the woman says that this was impossible, because her cell phone was much better. At that moment, a man arrives and asks what was happening and the girl said it was nothing, but the woman tells the girl to tell her father what had happened. She says that it was her father who was to blame for the girl using such a bad cell phone and that he should be ashamed of it. The man said that, unfortunately, it was the only cell phone he could afford for his daughter, but the woman said that was something to be ashamed of, as everyone should have a better cell phone than that. He said he had a lot of bills to pay and that he didn't have enough money to buy a cell phone. He says he was saving money for his daughter's college and that he couldn't afford to buy her a cell phone. The woman then says that she would give him some advice as she was seeing that he would need it. She says that when a father couldn't give his son the best, he shouldn't give anything, because all he was doing to his daughter was to embarrass her with that cell phone. The woman's daughter says that he should be ashamed of himself for giving his daughter a cell phone like that and that she would never accept it from her father. The woman says that the man should think more about it, as the girl would be forbidden to be around other people. When they leave, the girl tells her father that she was not ashamed of it, and then they enter her house. When the woman and her daughter were walking down the street when another man walks up to her. The other man says he was very happy to have met with them. He then asks her if they have any news to share with him, and the woman tells him to see the new phone she had bought for her daughter. He is very surprised by this and says that he wishes he had one like it. He said he would do anything to be able to have a cell phone like the one. He says the woman's daughter was a very lucky person. The woman then tells another man that she was very happy to be able to buy that phone for her daughter and then asks him if he knew which phone the girl used. She says she used a very old phone. Hearing that news, he is very surprised, and so the woman continues to tell the story to him. She says that when she realized it was happening, she went to tell the girl's father. She said she had told the girl's father that he shouldn't give his daughter a phone like that and that he should buy her another one. She says that she was just doing him a favor by giving him that advice, but that the man had been very furious with her advice and that she didn't understand why she had stayed that way. The other man says that he couldn't believe it had happened and that, unfortunately, people were like that. The woman then says that she couldn't understand why people were that way and then says goodbye to the other man and leaves with her daughter. Later, they come home and the woman was telling her daughter that she was just trying to help the man by giving him advice. She said she was just trying to help him, but that the man ended up getting mad at her and that she doesn't understand why. She said that next time she wouldn't help people anymore and tells her daughter to do the same. She then asks her brother what had happened, as he seemed to be very sad. He then hands her some bills and tells her that he needed to pay those bills. The woman then looks at her brother and says that she didn't understand why he was like that, because everyone had bills to pay. He then said that he needed to pay the rent on that house and that he didn't have the money to pay. She asks how that could be possible, and then he says that after he received his salary, he ended up paying all the other bills and that now he lacks money to pay the rent. He said that now they would have to leave that house, but the woman said that she would not leave because she knew that her brother would be able to pay the bills. He then says that all the money he received was not enough to pay all the bills in the house, but the woman says that she knew they would find a way, as she had already told her brother about it. She says that she had already told her brother that she would start working next month and that she would start helping him around the house, but the man says that he could not wait that long for her to help him as they would have to leave that house that month. He says he wouldn't need her help if they were to end up living on the street. She says she had already told her brother that the money she had earned that month she had bought her daughter a new cell phone, but her brother says he told her not to do it. He said he had told her she should wait a while before she could buy the phone, but she says it was a gift for her daughter. Her daughter then asks if she would have to sell the phone, but the woman says that won't happen. The brother then tells the woman that she would have to sell her daughter's phone to help pay the bills, but the woman said she wouldn't do that because the phone had been a gift for her daughter. He then asks if she wouldn't sell the phone as they would have to pay the bills. He says that if they didn't pay, they would have to live on the street. The daughter says she didn't mind having to sell the phone, and the brother says he was proud of his niece for doing it. The daughter tells her mother that everything will work itself out. Sometime later, the daughter was telling her mother that they would now be able to pay the bills. The woman says she wasn't enjoying having to sell everything she had. She says she wasn't enjoying having to sell her glasses and her expensive perfumes. She said she wouldn't force her brother to sell his computer to help pay the bills, as he needed the computer to work. At that moment, the other man arrives and says that he couldn't believe what he was seeing. He says that the woman was a very good person because she was selling her things so she could buy a phone for the girl, and that he was very proud of it. But the woman says she wasn't doing it for the girl, but to help pay the bills. She said that she was going through a very difficult time and that she was going to have to sell everything she had to pay the bills. She then says that she would now need to sell her daughter's new phone and everything she had so she could help her brother pay the bills. The other man then tells the woman that he knew this was the universe, telling the woman that she needed to change her attitude, because not long ago the woman was talking badly about the girl because she didn't have a new cell phone. He says that now the woman was having to sell everything she had as she couldn't pay what she owed, and that she should feel ashamed of what she had done. He then asks her if she regretted doing that to the girl, and then the woman asks if he would buy anything. He then tells her that this was for her to learn not to judge other people and that she should feel ashamed of what she had done to the girl. The woman keeps quiet when she hears what the other man was saying to her, as she knew that what he was saying was true. She then agrees with another man and he walks away saying that she should think about her actions, and then they go back to selling her stuff. Later, the other man goes to the girl's house, and when he sees that she was leaving her house, he goes up to her and tells her that he needed to talk to her. He said he had some great news to share with her and then asked her if she remembered his wife and daughter. He says that now they were going through a lot of hardships and that they were having to sell everything they had to pay the bills. He said he thought it was very interesting that the woman had said those things to girls on her phone and that now they were having to go through it. The man then says that he was very sad about what had happened to them and then asks where they were. The other man says they were at her house, and then the man said they would go there to help them. They then leave, and when they leave, the man wonders how that could be possible, as the woman had said so many bad things to the girl and now they were going there to help her. Later, they arrive at the woman's house, and then the man asks if they were selling all that. He says that there were a lot of interesting things in there, and then the daughter asks if they were there to talk badly about her. The man says they weren't going to do that and says they were there to help them because he heard that they were in need of help and that he was interested in some things there. He says that unfortunately, he couldn't take anything, because he wouldn't have anywhere to store it, but says that he really wanted to help. He then hands the woman some notes, saying that he couldn't help more than that and that he hoped it could help. He then says that they could also help sell what the woman was trying to sell. The girl says that she would be very happy to be able to help, and then the man says that she would help a lot as she was very smart. The woman then apologizes to him, saying that she shouldn't have said those things to the girl. She says that what she had said was unacceptable and that she was very happy that they were there to help her. She said that she was very grateful for the help the man had given her and that she would be very grateful if the girl could help her sell it, as she did not know what to do. They then start talking about how they could help the woman sell her belongings, and then the woman continues to call people for her sale.